Hello guys, welcome back to our one more brand new video from our Google Analytics 4 series. In our previous video, we provided an overview of the GA4 and explained where you can find out which type of information. So if you didn't watch our previous video yet, don't forget to check out our channel or check the I button. So in this video, we will explain the GA4 acquisition section under the reports. The acquisition section show from where your traffic are coming. You can see how you are acquiring your traffic in this section of the report. But when you enter in this section, you can be confused when you see these two different acquisition method. Number one is user acquisition and number two is traffic acquisition. Here in the acquisition section, we start doubting these two sections. But don't worry, these two are really interesting section under the reports. Let's start the detailing. But before starting the detailing, we should understand a few more small things to ensure everything is clear. The first thing we should understand or clear perfectly is session. In a simple way, if I say session, it is the name of every single visit by your user. Every time your user visit your site or interacted with it, GA4 record it as a new session. If I give you one example, think a user visit your site through Google. Then user visit three different page on your site, completes some activities and close them. GA4 will record this total journey as a session. And again, the same user came back to your site sometime later, and then GA4 record one more new session for this new visit. So it's really simple. Every time GA4 will record a new session whenever someone visit your website or your app. By the way, this session will stop or complete every time your user leaves your site or is inactive for the last 30 minutes. That means if any user is on your site but inactive for the last 30 minutes, then they start activity again after 30 minutes, then again GA4 will count one more new session here. It doesn't matter that your user was already there on your site. In your reporting section, if you see the user count is 100 but the session count is 150, this indicates that those 100 users visit your site 150 times. This is the definition of success session. I hope the thing is now clear to you that session means every single new visit. After that, engaged sessions are one of the important metrics in Google Analytics 4. Through this, we can measure what the amount of engaged session in the total session. GA4 will count a session as an engaged session if there are three things happened. Here you can check it out. The first condition is that if a user stays on your site for at least 10 seconds or complete any conversion or visit at least 2 pages, GA4 will count this session as an engaged session. Now let's look at the engagement rate. With this matrix, we can measure the percentage of the engagement session from the total session by your user. Through this matrix, you can check the engagement rate for your every single channel. Okay, so it's also really important. Now let's look at the average engagement time per session. Through this matrix, you can learn about the average engagement time per session. Here you can check. Okay. Now let's look in some more metrics. Our next matrix is event per session. Okay, so through this matrix, you can gain knowledge about the average event amount per session. Now look at the metric event count. Through this matrix, you can understand the number of events completed by your user through this particular source or media. Key events. This matrix display how many key events your user has finished using this specific source or media. Now look at the session key event rate. This metric displays the average percentage rate of the key event your user has finished using this specific source or media. So before completing the acquisition section, it was important to understand all of these metrics. This information will help us to understand the report more effectively in the future. So now let's start the explanation of the total acquisition section. By the way, we already explained the acquisition section at the beginning of our video. The acquisition section will help us learn about the source of traffic to our site. But here, through the user acquisition, we can learn how a user comes to your site for the first time. If I give you one example, let's take the example. A user came to your site for the first time through Facebook. Okay, one session. And again, the same user came to your site through Google. So, according to the user acquisition, this user source will be Facebook. Simple way, if I explain to you, the user acquisition record all of the users source according to the first one they used to come in your site. Now look at this chart. Through the organic search, how many users have come to your site in a certain period. Even if they return later through another channel, they will still be counted under organic search in the user acquisition report. In this line, also you can check the number of new user who visited the site for the first time during a specific period. Also, you can see the returning user amount through this channel. This chart show the source of the user and how many user come to your site for the first time. But here, do you know one thing? User acquisition source are usually described using two dimensions. First one is source and the second one is medium. Source means Google, Facebook, YouTube, this type of. And medium means organic search, social, email, this type of channel. Okay. Here in the report, you can see both together, but if you want, you can change them according to your need from here. From here, you can choose just the medium or just the source. Okay. Also, if you created UTM parameter for any campaign, then according to the UTM source and medium, you can check the information here under the user acquisition. From this report, you can learn how many users have come to your site through your targeted source or medium, as well as the number of completed event, okay, event, key event, and more. By clicking on the icon, you can select the targeted event to view the number of events completed by your user from the targeted source or media. Now let's look at the traffic acquisition. This one works according to every session or visit your user makes. This report shows you that every single session or visit happened from which source. If I give you one more example for this traffic acquisition explanation, the explanation will be like that. Think one of your user come from Google and created one session, then the same person came back again from Facebook. As you can see, a single user created two different sessions from two different platforms. In the report, the source Google will count one session and the source Facebook will count one session. That means in this report, you can see from which source you are getting how many sessions or visits. What is the number of engagement rate, average time, and many more things. So if your goal is to know which source bring the most new user to your website, then you should check the user acquisition report. But if your goal is to know which channel is bring the most traffic or session, then you should check this traffic acquisition report. Now let's look at the new section, user acquisition jobs. This report shows which acquisition channel bring new user and how much revenue transaction those users generate over time. Now let's look at the lead acquisition. This report show which acquisition channel bring lead and how many of these lead become qualified or converted over time. And the last thing is date selection. In every section, you can change the date as per your target. Here you can see the date section. So from here, you can change the date according to your need to optimize your work or improve the analysis ability. Great. Our acquisition section explanation is now complete. I hope everything is now clear to you perfectly. But if you want to know anything else that you think we missed, you can leave one comment in the comment box. We are always here to assist you. And yes, don't forget to subscribe our channel to know more good topics from the Google Analytics 4.